Is getting ready to spend money on their own pet projects, cashing in more than $6.6 billion in earmarks. Steve Ellis is the Vice President of Taxpayers for Common Sense. That's the group that tabulated the cost for all that pork. Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Are you out there? There you are. Listen, we're trying to break this down, and we're finding in the state of Delaware, Joe Biden's helping to lead the pack. What have you found with his requests on behalf of his folks back home?
Well, he made about, for all the spending bills this year, this just represents 3 of them, he made about more than $300 million worth of earmark requests, and in this bill he got about $51 million in earmarks for the state of Delaware.
State of Delaware, how does that rank with the others and the requests that have gone in?
Well, I mean, we don't know how many requests went in because lawmakers are not required to divulge that. He actually did, but as far as, you know, in the total, he's not doing bad, but you know, you can see that
what do you mean he's not doing bad? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I guess you would say that he's kind of in the pack, in the hunt. Whereas, you know, you do have Senator Stevens who got well over $200 million in earmarks, and in the House you have Representative Murtha who got $111 million in earmarks.
Ted Stevens from Alaska, Murtha from Pennsylvania. Ted Stevens leads the pack entirely, right?
Yeah,
$238 million I'm reading here.
Exactly, $238 million, and what's shocking about that is he's literally on trial this week for some of his dealings.
John McCain, how many did he request?
He didn't request any, as is his nature, and so he didn't get any.
Barack Obama?
This year he did not submit any requests. In previous years he had, but this year he did not submit any earmark requests.
Since joining the Senate in 2005, Obama's requested how much in earmarks?
By our count, somewhere about $860 million worth of earmarks in his 3 years.
Well, go back to Alaska. Sarah Palin's making the public argument that she is cutting back on the earmark requests. Is that true? Is that factual?
Yes. I mean, compared to her first year, compared to her predecessor, she cut earmarks. And then last year, compared to her first year, she actually cut earmark requests from about $250 million her first year to about $197 her second year.
Go back to Biden in Delaware. What's the money for?
You know, most of it is going to go to various projects within the defense spending bill. And the problem with the defense spending bill and earmarks there, just to put it into perspective, out of that $6.6 billion, almost $5 billion of that total was in the defense spending bill. And out of the 2,030, 2,000 some odd earmarks, nearly 2,000 of them were in the defense spending bill. So it's really the heavy lifter in this whole system.
You know, Steve, this is your business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you watch this stuff. So when John McCain says we need to get rid of earmarks, how realistic is that?
It's going to be tough. I mean, it's an entrenched thing. But, you know, basically it wasn't that long ago, about 2 decades ago, we had a pittance of earmarks compared to this. And so it really is about changing the way we spend our money, changing the way we allocate it so that we do competitive merit-based. It may not save dollar for dollar, but in the long run it'll save a lot for waste, fraud, and abuse.
What is changing in Washington, Steve, that shows the increase, accounts for that?
Well, I mean, the increase started back in the mid-'90s, and really it was sort of collusion between the two parties that they would direct earmarks to at-risk lawmakers, and that really both presidencies were asleep at the switch and allowed this to occur. And so we saw the number of earmarks quintuple between 1996 and 2005. We've seen it slightly decrease, and it's going to keep intense pressure. And I think the same things that have kept it down or started it down have been we're going to continue to see. I mean, the bridge to nowhere, lawmakers like Duke Cunningham trading his pinstripes for prison stripes, and, you know, increased scrutiny. Look at what's happening with Senator Stevens.
Steve, thank you. I've got to run. The opening bell's coming up. Steve Ellis, keep an eye on it, will you?
I sure will.
All right, man. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.